I just got finished doing an online reading for a client or a client and session. It was great. And while I have everything set up, I thought I would do maybe a little impromptu reading, rune reading, and I think maybe let's look at. Well, this was part of this person's reading, this card. So I pulled a card from the Wildwood Tarot deck um, because I've been learning and trying to expand. I've had this deck for years, but I've been trying to learn and expand um, my understanding of it so that I can learn to read with it as well, because I think there's some good wisdom and in it. Um, so before this reading, uh, and I've done this before, I pulled a card to kind of give me an idea about what the reading was going to be about. Well, when I pulled this card, which is the Guardian, um, I I looked at it and I thought, well, that's weird. That's wrong. Not wrong, but it's one of the major arcana in another deck, and I don't even know what it is in the major arcana normally. But card number 15 is the Guardian. Um, so I've gotten it before, and I understand bits of it, and I thought this is weird. So we do the reading, and it ends up being very appropriate in terms of it being okay. So you've got. I want to read this to you just because if I try and paraphrase, it will not go well. Um, this is about a challenge has arrived in your life. It could be complex, and it's an opportunity. So it's either whether it's going inside or some external source. Um, it's our opportunity to engage with it. So taking control of our fears, dealing with insecurity with courage and integrity. Always be aware that however threatening or difficult the situation is, you can only become stronger and more resilient from the experience of undertaking and accepting inner darkness. So also with these cards, I just felt like this was going to be super appropriate. It is appropriate, and here's why. And this is why you can't make this shit up. So this card deck, each of the cards sits on the wheel of the year at a place on the wheel of the year. Well, this one sits at Samhain on November 1st at the Gateway of the Dead. He stands between the elements of water and earth and is associated with the waning moon. So, this reading today is facilitated and inspired by this card because it's all about, in this tradition, Samhain, November 1st. It also might be telling me I need to work on my Samhain presentation that I'm giving on the 19th at the festival. So, but what I would like to read for, and I think a good question or topic to bring up in this is runes. So let me pause that. Sorry. For in my tradition, it's more of winter nights is what we would be celebrating, or maybe not celebrating, but it would be the time of year where that's what we were working on. Our ritual that we're doing at the Samhain festival is about being grateful and honoring the last harvest, which is around that time. Also asking for protection for the coming year, and honoring any gods, deities, ancestors that we need to, um, while asking for peace to be on our hearth for the year. So a little bit of that. That's going to be our focus for that ritual. Um, so uh, at this time of in the northern hemisphere, moving into the dark, the cold, into the dark, into the cavern behind this cave bear skeleton, moving into the stillness, moving into the dark, moving into a place in this cavern. There's no light, and so we can't really see any of the maybe the sharp rocks or crags or stalactites that are there. And so I'm asking for guidance and wisdom uh, from the runes, from our ancestors and gods through the runes, um, about give us guidance and wisdom to help us navigate the coming season of the darkness in the northern hemisphere. I feel like that's a yes. Okay. So okay. Uh, for those of you who are interested in putting together the sentences or the ideas or the thoughts that we might call rune reading or tarot card reading, um, and then for those who really don't care about that, they just want to know, or they're not interested. Not that you don't care. Um, I so my rune set that I'm reading with today is Bogwood from Ireland, and so it's these pieces, and there's a side with the rune on it and a side without. So I say, upside down. Um, I read runes upside down as being undercurrents or bigger picture themes, versus face up are very specific things. They're all face down. So what we're looking at, without even flipping them over yet, um, part of the wisdom, I think, and the message coming through in this is, um, don't get caught in such a small mindset that you let the darkness overtake you. Remember that there is light coming, that out in our season, yes, we're moving into darkness in the northern hemisphere, but light will come back. So don't let that being in the darkness completely overwhelm you, and take away. I'm not going to say anything else. That's it. No value judgments at the moment. So, um, one is actually dead center, of the gar shape on my and it is Eeyore, which is about uh, liminal space. It's about boundaries. It's connected to Jormungandr, the world serpent. Um, Breaking boundaries, containers, protecting liminal spaces, um, breaking old ideas and thoughts that hold us, that are our boundaries. Um, so if that's dead center, um, the three other places on the animal skin where runes landed are in you specifically, or me, and then in exterior energies for us, and then one landed in kind of the future area. So um, let's look at the exterior energy first, which is Tewaz or Tyr. This rune is about truth, justice, discipline, disciplined warrior. Disciplined warrior is how I want to say that. It's about um, knowing how to navigate in the dark. Um, your North Star, knowing how to read the sky so that even if you're on the sea or in a forest and you can still look up and see the sky, you can still navigate. So this is about the exterior energy, which is kind of um, um, I I I want to put it this way, and this sounds a little new, not hmm, um, this is actually seems to be more of a planetary astrological phenomenon happening. Um, I don't want to say we're being provided the opportunity of darkness to learn how to navigate in the darkness. What did I just say about that card? Um, what was it that I said? But it was about that. Um, about navigating in the dark. So let's move on to the rune that is hanging out in the place that is you or I, Hagalaz, which if you go with the 24 Elder Futhark, this is about this is hell. This is the dead, the realm of the dead. This is about it can also then in the role of the 34 be about hail, Hail. This is about because that line going from side to side is not straight across. So that would be the most direct path. Because it's angled, it also means to me that you can be taking a longer path. Most times I see it as being self inflicted longer route. But also, what I find interesting about this is that my presentation at the Samhain Festival is called Helveger, which is walking the Hell Road. So it's the road that leads us to Helheim. The way that it came out in the divination I did for that presentation was the walking the road as a tool for self mastery. So, like this book said about this card, what's being presented to you is nothing but an opportunity. So to deal with your shit, basically, and come out, deal with it with integrity and courage, um, for growth. So um, this is kind of what we're going to be headed for. A little bit of a rough time in the dark, but it's about being provided the opportunity. I'm trying to put this really nicely and not be a total twat. Um, we're being even me. So don't think I'm escaping this uh, situation. This is where all of us. Uh, Hagalaz, it's going to be rough. It's tough. It's a lot of stillness, and this Hagalaz also can be connected to um, winter and darkness. It's about also, I think, feeling cold, um, feeling a bit isolated, feeling alone, feeling like we're not quite sure where to turn. We're not quite sure really where to get our warmth from or who. Um, it just feels rough. So it feels rough. Uh, and working through that and going through that um, will help to refine our ability to see in the dark and to navigate. It also helps us figure out what things are important to us, so that we use those as our north star to help guide us in navigation. So the final rune, can't make this shit up, people. Uh, the final rune, which I told you was in like the future space on my animal skin, is the rune Wunyo. Wunyo is about joy. It's about light. It's about alignment. Um, in my tradition, in my practice, we have a tool that we use called the soul map reading. The soul map um, is 17 pieces or 17 different things that we read on. Um, our physical body, our energy body, our zest for life, our connection to our breath, our emotional, how well we and understand our emotions, our memory, our ability to have memory, our ability to have logic, our, for lack of a better term, antenna to receive information from the divine or from the other. It also is our spirit team, our ancestors, our Megan, which is our ability to keep our word, our Haminya. Most of you would say that is luck. Our weird stuff, not WYRD, but the spooky stuff, like our psychic gifts, our ability to commune with the divine, our Orlog, which we interpret as the skills necessary to complete your destiny, which would be your weird. So when all of the main ones that I spoke about in the beginning, which I think there are like 9 of them, they do not connect with the chakras. Some of them have similar ideas and functions, but if I can make sure that I am fed, that I'm rested, if I can make sure that, well, first of all, those 2 things lead to me having good cognitive function or better cognitive function. I can work on my stillness, prayer. I can work on our zest for life, or is like our creativity, our spirituality, our sexuality. I can make sure that those energies are flowing, that all of my needs are met, basically, right? So when all of those needs are met, I believe we're aligned, and we found an alignment where we can feel joy. Now, I don't I don't think joy is the same as excitement or as happy or happiness. Um, I don't think it's ecstatic. Pardon me. I think, and joy isn't contentment, but joy just seems more quiet. Joy seems impactful. If we're looking at it in connection to an element, I think it's more of earth. It's more earthy. Joy is more grounded. Where ecstasy could be like fire, um, et cetera, et cetera. So when we find this, sorry, this is found when all of our needs are met. Now, needs and wants are two different things. So if we're having this Hagawaz period of time for ourselves, um, when things begin to, what do they say? When the, nope. I was going to say when the going gets tough. That's not what I wanted to say. The concept of, you know who your friends are, because when things get tough, they're the ones who don't bail. What will happen for you is things are going to get tough, and the things that you thought brought you happiness and joy that actually don't, when you try them, when you actually try them, when you put them to the test, they're okay to go away. What we're doing is we're filtering out that shit so that we can really be focused on the things and find those things that meet those 9 soul map pieces, meet their needs, fill that need so that we can be in alignment. Now, when we know what those things are, those things can be helpful in helping us navigate, and also then helping us find our North Star. So if your North Star is actually having experiences in life that bring you joy, that's a great goal, because that could be anything. You're not limiting it to, oh, it's only if I have this vacation, or if I have this type of ice cream, or if I have a silk scarf, which this is not silk, but it's very nice. It's very beautiful. But it's not about things. We're attaching our alignment and our joy to us being in a good place. And not because necessarily we have money in the bank, or because, there's more than enough food in the cabinet. It's because we understand our own needs and we can meet them and be self-sufficient in meeting them. And then from there, we can interact with people and other beings from everywhere, from a very beautiful place of connection and desired connection, interaction, versus the first thing I think is that I need one of my needs. I have a need that is in need of being met. Can't help it. And this person can do that for me. So what that will take, though, we're going to go back to the very center of this, is breaking down some of your boundaries. Moving into a liminal space where, for those of you who might not know what liminal space is, it's the space in between spaces. So the space in the doorway is a liminal space between the two rooms, or the inside and outside. From a very woo-woo way of thinking about it, it's the in-between, which is can be a very magical place. So it's the shore which is the ocean, between the ocean and land, right? The liminal space is the shore, or where the water is and isn't, depending on the tide going in and out. I think no matter what, the whole gist of this is the wisdom that we asked for about getting through this is not losing sight of the fact that this is only one part of things, and although it's going to be hard, whether you'll still get through it. Whether you choose to use the energy and the wisdom to do these things for yourself during this time period is up to you. You don't have to. You don't have to do shit. But this is being set up so that you can, and you can use this and this wisdom to break through some of your bullshit, to actually find a deeper, richer happiness or joy than just maybe the superficial, I'm going to say one night stands. But what I really mean by that is, it has nothing to do with sex or one night stands. I have no problem with that. I also have no problem with candy bars, but that's more of what I mean. Looking for that immediate, instant gratification, that is great until the flavor's gone out of your mouth and the enjoyment that you got from that Snickers peanut butter squared is gone. Then what, right? Then what? What do you do? Then what do you do? So, is there anything else we should discuss while I have you here? It's been 26 minutes. Yeah, I want to pull one more rune. And this rune Dagaz. Dagaz is or Daeg, Daeg, is a rune of dawn. It's a rune of day. It's a rune of breakthrough. It's a rune of dawn, a light coming after the night, right? It's also I see it as being markings of the time of the calendar. If it goes in a figure 8, the dead center would be probably the equinoxes, and then the line on the side, depending on how you want to look at this, would be the solstices. So time is always moving, and so is what I just told you. There will be, this is the time for this. Do not get stuck in the fact that it is the dark, because the dawn will come, breakthrough will come, putting work into this will come. If you use the energy, the breakthrough, you will be ready at the dawn to take on whatever it is that you want to take on and move through for next year. Or you can get drugged, kicking and screaming through this, and you might be a mess and disheveled at the end of it. But some of this shit will have happened anyway. So the difference between destruction and deconstruction is your participation. So you can have it rough, and not in the good way, or you can use the energy that's with us during this dark time, during the coming dark time of our current year. So don't forget, breakthrough's coming. Which is what I said in the very beginning. The dark is not, it's meant to, don't get caught up, and don't lose sight of, don't lose the instinctual knowledge of the fact that the dawn is coming. I know some of you almost broke into the sun will come out tomorrow, because I did. So, if you're in northern Utah, and you see this before October 19th, 2025, or anywhere near there if you want to fly in. Uh, the Samhain Festival, presented by the Utah Pagan Market, will be happening at the Utah State Fairgrounds, and I will be there. 10 o'clock is the opening ceremony. 10:30 is when myself and my group will be doing the Winter Nights, our version of Winter Nights ritual, and that's 10:30 to 11:30. 11:30 to 12:30 is my presentation about Walk the Road, Helveger Walk the Hell Road, Path to Self Mastery. And then at 12:30, from 12:30 to 1:30, I'll be on a participant on a psychic panel with a few friends of mine. And then after that, I'm going to probably eat and then hang out at my booth the rest of the day. So it'll have my books, my artwork. In fact, it'll have the, which I'm going to show you in just a second, because I don't think anyone's seen this yet. It's the sigil that came out of all of the divination done to create the presentation Walk the Hell Road, Walking the Hell Road, A Path to Self-Mastery. So I'm going to show it to you because I don't think anyone's seen it. So I'm going to have a few prints there of it. So if you want to take it home and put it on your wall. So let me show you that real quick. I'm just going to back the camera up. This is just a smaller print of it, but I think this will probably be the size that we end up using. But here it is. So this came out of, which we'll talk about in the presentation. We'll talk about the runes. We'll talk about the tarot that came out of it. We'll talk about, I used the Runabalm Oracle deck from Freya Norling all as well. So all of those things went into this sigil. So if I can get it to my friends in time, they're going to make canvas bags with this sigil on it. But if not, I will have printed on nice paper, professionally printed. These that you can, they'll be probably set up for a 5x7. So the paper will be 8x10, but the image will fit into a 5x7 mat, and maybe even a bigger one if people want it. So, yeah. So if you're around for that day, great. I hope to see you. And moving into this time of dark for us in the Northern Hemisphere is that is your wisdom from the runes and the gods and the ancestors to help us navigate it, navigate the energy of it. I will leave you with this. May your weird be filled with health, wealth, strength, and virility.